Ever since we got introduced to the idea that there might be a land filled with samurai, it's obvious that One Piece fans want to see what our own samurai on the Straw Hat crew will do in Wano. It was always an interesting scenario to think about Zoro being in Wano and surrounded by all these samurai. How will he interact with the samurai there? How will the people of Wano react when they see Shusui on his waist? Because Shusui is a sword that is considered a national treasure of Wano, which belonged to the very famous sword god Ryuma, who killed the dragon in order to protect the country of Wano. And we get those answers in very early on in the Wano arc and Zoro's encounter with Yukimaru, which gives us an idea on how Wano citizens view Zoro and what their idea of the national hero is and the sword itself. So in turn, Zoro had to pass on Shusui and get a new blade, Enma, the very blade used by Kozuki Oden, who is the only person said to injure Kaido. Now this has sparked many discussions regarding where Zoro stands in terms of strength. Pushing all that aside though, it's somewhat obvious Zoro is going to be making huge leaps in terms of strength and notoriety as a pirate, and Oda is trying to bridge that gap between him and Luffy, the first mate and the captain. Whoever Zoro fights in the battle this arc, whether that is King or even Kaido, obviously with the help of the other supernovas, one thing is certain, his Haki will bloom tremendously, especially his armament, which he is very proficient at using. One reason is because of the opponents he is going to be facing off against, hopefully. They will push Zoro to the extreme, and like Rayleigh said, Haki blooms in extreme conditions, and it will be a display of what Zoro is really capable of post time skip, because we haven't really got enough with Zoro. He hasn't really fought anyone challenging enough to push Zoro to the edge. Another reason is because of him using Enma. Enma's nature as a blade sucks in rework from the user. However, it does seem that Zoro has already mastered Enma, but with some difficulty. Tegiyama says that this is because Zoro also uses Wado, and it's like two sister blades because they were made by the same swordsmith, Kozaburo Shimatsuki, and it makes it easier for Zoro to learn to control Enma and keep the will of the sword in check, because it does seem that swords do have a will of their own in the One Piece world. So using Enma will be like a stimulant for Zoro's Haki, because he has to have immense control of his Haki so he doesn't get sucked up by the sword while fighting tough opponents which can possibly kill him. And this will really reflect Koshiro's idea, Zoro's master, that there are swordsmen that can cut anything and there are swordsmen that can't cut anything. So basically Ryuo, and Hyogoro has the same idea and teachings. Talking about Black Blades for a second, Tengiyama said that Zoro could potentially make Enma into a Black Blade and improve its rank into a Sagio or Wazumono potentially. It does seem that Zoro learning permanent imbuing into a weapon is the next stage in Zoro's advancement of Haki and strength, and the only person that we know of that is alive currently in the story that knows permanent imbuing is Mihawk, and this could take Zoro one step closer to fighting Mihawk as equals. And at this end of this arc, Zoro might be better at armament Haki than Luffy, because think about this, Enma as a sword sucks in Ryuo, and Zoro making Enma into a Black Blade doesn't seem very far-fetched. Zoro's skill set and the nature of the blade, I think it can really happen, and I think this will really propel Zoro and bridge the gap between him and Luffy. Now I want to talk about Enma, not the sword but the deity Enma. Enma is the god of hell who judged right and wrong people after a human dies. Many of you probably know who that is from Dragon Ball, Lord Enma. Yeah. However, this links to an attack of Zoro that hasn't been used at all post-time skip, Ashura. Now from a Buddhism standpoint, Ashura are a type of supernatural beings who are endlessly engaged in battle with the creatures who are gods. Now coming back to One Piece for a second, who is viewed as a deity in the eyes of the Wano citizens? Kaido, because he's revered as a dragon god. Now, whether you want to take that as Zoro using Ashura against Kaido or not, the fact is, Ashura has to be used in this arc, whatever the case may be. Like, even the entrance of Onigashima has a Torii Gate, and the Torii Gate are usually entrances to shrines and temples, so it makes sense that Ashura finally is used. Like, this is the battle of your life. If you're not going to use Ashura now, when are you ever going to use it? And if he does use Ashura now with Enma, with his new sword Enma, Ashura will be the most powerful attack Zoro has ever had. It might even evolve into a new move of Zoro, Indra. That's a very popular theory. And in Japan, Indra is one of the 12 devas as a guardian deity who are found in around Buddhist temples. Now Zoro has lots of links with Buddhism. Most of his attacks, like his 1000 pounder hoe and all those attacks, are all Buddhism linked. So it makes sense why he would have Indra, but I don't think we need to see Ashura first, in my opinion. And when he does use Ashura, that will be the start of a new Zoro, whose newfound fame and name will spread across the seas like wildfire. A Zoro that will be one step closer to finally achieving his goal of the world's strongest swordsman. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the video. Please drop a like, subscribe to the channel. I'm going to be making more discussion based videos, like lore based videos as well. Predominantly One Piece, but I might do other series as well. I might branch out and do other series, but time will tell. But I think I'm going to start here. Hopefully you guys enjoy the videos. Please stay safe, and I'm out. Peace.